Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my review of Fortnite Chapter 3 Season 1. Now, you might not know who I am. You probably don't know who I am. I'm just your average player. And that's okay, you don't have to know who I am. I just want to bring to you today my personal opinion on this season. It's pretty positive. And, I just kind of wanted to share what the average person in the community might think about this season. And I really hope that you listen in and enjoy regardless of me not being a big YouTuber. That would mean the world to me. Now, while I am not CypherPK or Lachlan or a big YouTuber that most people might listen to the opinion of, I am still a very dedicated player. Even in the days of Chapter 1 where I wasn't able to play the game for the most part, I still followed it, and I still asked for updates, and I still theorized, and even when I quit the game in Chapter 2 Season 4, all the way until I started playing again in Season 7, I theorized, and I stuck with the game, and I learned about all of the news. So I would say I'm a pretty dang dedicated player to this game, and with this season, I've basically dropped almost all of my other games to play this one, because I don't know, it just feels very, very fun again, and that's something that I feel like this game has been missing out on lately. Now, the thing about me that's different from most people is that I'm an anti-sweat. Am I good at the game? I would say that this season, especially, basically having to relearn the game since Season 7, I would say I got pretty gosh dang good at the game. Definitely a lot better. My Xbox it's a day 1 2013. Possibly the 61st Xbox One ever made, so it's really bad and it lags really horribly, and you'll see in probably better shown in the second section of gameplay in this video, where I am not bad, but my Xbox is really bad, so the lag and the frames and the graphics all just kind of combine to make the game pretty much unplayable when there's someone in your box or spraying a weapon or anything like that. Yeah, so you'll see that, but I would say, yeah, I got pretty good. So why don't I like sweats? Basically, I think that they're bad because they build too much and they think that they have to wear a certain combo to win the game. That's basically the extent of it. If you can't kill me without edit coursing to get to me, then you're probably not that good at the game. They're not bad, but they just overbuild. That's my opinion on that. So I feel like I hold a very unique opinion in the community, as where most people wouldn't think that, especially people who are good at the game. So, as someone who is a more casual Xbox player, yet also someone who I would consider myself to be pretty good this season, I feel like my review of the season is going to be a lot different, and my opinions are going to be very different from most of your normal, average, casual Fortnite players. And while I have learned how to build and edit way better, and I do take the game fairly seriously now, I'm definitely not a sweat. Far from it. So that's going to kind of be the basis for this video. Why should you listen to my opinion? I don't know if you want to, but I just think it would be very interesting to hear someone who thinks a little bit differently than everybody else. Someone who played like 3 games of Arena this entire season. Anyways, without further ado, this is a mostly casual player's review of Fortnite Chapter 3 Season 1. Let's begin. Alrighty, so first, off the bat, I like to talk about the Battle Pass. Is it the most important thing of the season? No, but it's cosmetics, which is very different from the rest of the season, so we're just going to go over the Battle Pass first. So this Battle Pass, it was a unique one, to say the least. It was one Battle Pass where there's only a couple, well, I don't know, I don't think there really is a skin that I can really complain about in this Battle Pass. Not everything was perfect, but, you had Shanta as a tier 100 who, she's cool, and then her fully upgraded version is probably not worth the grind in my opinion, but it's pretty cool. It's decent. The face thing is kind of creepy, but other than that, it's pretty cool. And then you have the Ronin guy, who the second I saw him, I was literally like, dude, oh my gosh, this has to be in the Battle Pass. That better be a Battle Pass skin.
No, that better be a Battle Pass skin. That's sick.
This crazy skin, actually. Now that I think about it, probably my favorite skin of the entire Battle Pass. Well, no, I take that back. You'll hear later. Yeah, and then we have the Haven skin, who's this cool hunter, wild girl. I don't know how to describe her besides that. She's pretty dang cool. She's probably the sweatiest one of this Battle Pass besides the Harlow skin. And then you have the Harlow skin. She's really cool because of the customization, and her helmet is really cool, but I feel like she could have used a little bit more armor. But overall, pretty gosh dang good skin. And then you get Gumbo, probably the worst skin I think I've ever seen. I mean, the styles and the color scheme is so cool, but all of his things is just like this strangely like dark, evil gumball person, and I just think that's just the worst, dumbest idea for a skin I've ever heard of in my life. All the cosmetics have like such good styles, like I said, but I don't want to run them because they all suck, and there's like gumballs begging for their lives, and it's like, why would I want to wear that? It's just weird. It's not even like edgy and creepy. It's just weird. And then we have the tier 100. So I am sick and tired of collabs and collab skins, especially as a tier 100. I understand why they do Marvel and stuff. They should do more Star Wars, but I understand why they do a lot of Marvel skins. But like the Marvel season is what made me quit the game, right? The selling your game out for an advertisement is what made me just hate the game. So for the tier 100s to always be collab skins kind of pisses me off, but in all honesty, Spider-Man kind of makes sense. You know, they didn't do what they did with the last couple seasons and just not give them like a POI or a weapon or anything in game. No. They gave my boy Spider-Man his own POI, which is just the coolest thing. It's a freaking city inside of a volcano. How cool is that? So I can't really complain, honestly. The skin itself too, the white and the black styles especially, and then the enlightened styles, they're pretty cool. Like, I mean, honestly, Spider-Man's probably my favorite superhero, but you know, that specific like Tom Holland or like Andrew Garfield or whatever, just kind of, I would assume, comic book based Spider-Man that I don't care about. It's still cool. Like, it's still actually a pretty dang cool skin. I don't like the original style because I don't like the color scheme. I like the black and red Spider-Mans more, but who cares? Cool skin for tier 100. I mean, I don't think it should have been tier 100, but I don't mind it as much as I minded like Carnage. That was just stupid. And then we get the secret skin, who at first I thought should have been the tier 100, but actually, no. I think it makes perfect sense where it's at. The Rock. We have the Foundation, and oh my goodness, my reaction to that was probably even better than my reaction to the last thing.
It's The Rock!
Yeah, such a great skin. I mean, the original style is really cool. Kind of the ruggedness of the colors is something that you don't see on a lot of skins, especially with that amount of detail. It really looks like a skin that's got this just completely worn out, battle-torn armor that he's kind of kept refined over the years. And I think that's really cool. And then you get to the black style. Oh my goodness, this is like my favorite thing. This is one of my creative combos that I always run because it's kind of hard to see. You have this black and silver, like, mean looking armor with the glowing red. Oh, it doesn't get better than that. Gotta be my favorite skin in the Battle Pass, easily. And then you got the Rock eyebrow raise. You already know Fortnite's gonna do it. If they're gonna put the Spider-Man pointing meme in the Battle Pass, they're gonna put the Rock eyebrow raise meme in the Battle Pass. They did it. They pulled through with the memes this season. I don't know about the meme skins. Oh! That made me remember. The meme skin of this season. The llama guy. That skin's sick. I'm sorry, John Llama is his name. I'm sorry, man. I forgot to review you, dude. Pretty cool skin, actually. I remember seeing this leaked in the surveys and stuff, and I thought it looked pretty cool. Kind of similar build to like the Guff skin, except he's got like tactical armor on, which you can never go wrong with that. Looks freaking sick. Yeah, I mean, the styles, especially the classic one, like that pickaxe and back bling. Oh, amazing color schemes on those. Yeah, pretty good skin. Yeah, Battle Pass this season was kind of correct. Alrighty, now that we got the Battle Pass out of the way, we can get into the actual gameplay changes. Oh boy, were there a lot of them. This season, man, my goodness. Let's just jump straight into it, and we're gonna talk about the map first, because oh my goodness. You know, life around the time that the season came out was kind of sucking, and I just needed something to lift my spirits, and oh my goodness, bro. To be able to, like, experience the event. No leaks, by the way. I literally, like, stopped, like, social media and YouTube and everything. I like, literally stopped watching YouTube, stopped following any sort of leaks, because I didn't want anything spoiled for me. I only got a couple things spoiled that I already pretty much knew were gonna happen, so that's whatever. Yeah, amazing. Here's my reaction to that. Yeah, it's a little crazy, not my best moment, but when life's down in the dumps and something really freaking cool happens, you tend to be really happy, so You know, it might be just a few voice cracks here and there, and just a little bit of over-the-top screaming and obnoxious laughing, but I was happy, what can I say?
I remember this part.
Oh, this is gonna be. Oh! Oh!
It's the entire map.
Oh!
Yeah, that was
What?
yeah,
What?
yeah.
Oh!
Basically under.
Wait! Is that paradise? Oh!
With the brown hair.
It's gonna show me the new map, isn't it?
Oh! What? Oh! Dude! Oh! Wait, what?
Yeah, no, I'm not apologizing for that. That and Jesus were like the only two good things in my life at the time, so, I mean, I was happy. What can I say? I was very happy, very much enjoying the new map and the event, and, I mean, you can't blame me, okay? Look at this map. Literally, I mean, probably the Chapter 1 map, pretty much, I mean, put two and two together, pretty much the Chapter 1 map, but, like, new, like, in the future or whatever. I mean, every single POI on this map, besides, like, a couple of them, like, almost every single POI, is so good, and I've gone through so many favorite POIs, from Kondo to Sleepy to Rocky, and there's so many POIs on this map have I gone through, like, being my favorite, and always landing there, and, I mean, that wasn't even it. That wasn't even it. They give us freaking tilted towers, but, like, not like an edited version. Literally just tilted. They didn't, like, do anything stupid like they would have done in Chapter 2 and been like, oh, we're bringing you salty towers, yay. Nah, dude, it's freaking tilted towers. And then, what, like 2 weeks later, they bring out the grotto, but better? Like, two of the most loved POIs of all time. Literally back out in the game, basically. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, after Season 8 was the worst letdown Epic Games has probably ever delivered, if you can even call it delivering, I mean, I did not trust them. I was not expecting anything good. And we got freaking amazingness, dude. The map is so good, and I have a feeling that, like, next season is going to be even better with the map, because I truly don't know what they could really do to make this map better. It's already so good with all the different diverse locations. Every single bit of the map makes it feel small yet big, comfortable yet also new and adventurous. Like, they did it, they achieved it. I don't know how in the world they did that with a video game, but they did, and it's amazing, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of them. They did it, man. Like, just seeing the new map and watching that trailer zoom out as I saw biomes and things I'd never seen before, because I didn't know anything. Everybody had seen the map flipping, everybody had seen the event, most people were doing like the flip Fortnite thing. I was in my own world just thinking like, dang, the whole Fortnite community and all my friends are listening and talking about this, and I don't know a thing, and that's amazing because I can wake up and experience it all on my own. And it was great. And I mean, really, truly, this map delivered so much more than I ever expected. It's very unique to me, it's shaped like a fish. I can't unsee it now, so I'm going to inflict this on all your brains. Imagine that the Daily Bugle is the eye, and then the islands and stuff are the mouth. It's kind of crazy. I hate it, but, you know, it's there. It's ingrained in my brain now. This great map. I cannot stress how unbelievably amazing they did with this map. It's not better than Chapter 1. I was saying it might be better than Chapter 1, you know, because of all the hype, but no. It's not better than Chapter 1 map. You know, nothing. Maybe Chapter 2 Season 3. Most seasons that are not Chapter 1 are not going to come even close to Chapter 1. But oh my goodness, this season, man, the map in a lot of people's minds right now is rivaling the Chapter 1 map. Okay, when you have a game that for the last 2 years has been bring back Chapter 1, and you don't bring back Chapter 1 and people are saying it might be better, then you're doing something right. And they really do seem to be learning from their mistakes. I don't know if it was just they wanted to be stubborn and, oh, we're going to release all this good content, so we might as well just have a garbage season before. You know, we got that and it was bad, but then we got this. And it's so good. It's so good. And then just the constant changes in every single part of the map feeling different, like I said before, familiar as in it kind of mimics the Chapter 1 map, but it's completely new and completely familiar and yet completely adventurous at the same time. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. So this map is kind of goated, man. I'm definitely going to be giving this one a high ranking at the end. Yeah, that's my review of the map. Literally enough to get my freaking voice crack. Like, dude, it sounded like my balls were actively dropping in that video. Like, I was excited seeing the new map. Like, what the heck, man? And then they go ahead and they just release all this crazy stuff with it. What are you doing? What kind of drugs were you on with Chapter 2 that you just got yourself off of, and now you're, dude? They're crazy. They're crazy for making this new map because it's so different and so good, and I love it. I really do love it, and I don't know honestly what else they could do. So yeah, I mean, there it is. I wish there were Chapter 2 locations and a few more Chapter 1 locations, but I understand why there's not Chapter 2 locations for storyline reasons and Chapter 1 locations. I mean, we got Tilted. I would prefer like Paradise Palm and stuff, but anything else is basically personal preference because Tilted Towers is on most people's minds when it comes to that. Yeah, Fortnite. Fortnite map. Map is amazing, map is great. Alright, so we have the unique and crazy amazing map. That's great. Here's where things get tricky. We're going to talk about the loot pool. The loot pool was something that surprisingly didn't get boring very fast, although it was the same 6 guns at the beginning, and it definitely evolved to be unique, but the meta still kind of stayed the same. So as I mentioned before, my Xbox, especially when someone sprays, you know, is horribly laggy, and for a season that's all about the spray meta, I mean, it's not gonna do very well for me. So personally, I've found pubs lately to be kind of hard to play, not because I dislike them, I actually like them more than anything else in the game, but because of how many spammers there are, rightfully so. I mean, especially before the heavy shotgun came out, you have the auto shotgun, which, like, cool gun, you know, the reload time would be compensated for if it did good damage. Then there's a striker, you know, the insane amount of accuracy needed would be compensated for if it didn't do, like, what, 20 damage per shot. I mean, it sucks. Like, I'm decent with it, but I'm not going to be hitting any big shots with it. Yeah, I mean, striker shotgun, auto shotgun, they both suck. Get them out of here. I like that they're unique to Chapter 3, and I will always remember them in that way, but I don't like them. You'll see in the gameplay, I'm using one, and it's just not very good. This is also kind of the laggier game, though, so whatever. Yeah, nope, shotguns were not good this season, and there's snipers. I mean, like, what can you even say? They're not even snipers, dude. They do, like, 90 damage, it's like 180 to the head. Like, that's no sniper, okay? The only sniper that, in my opinion, should be doing low damage to the body is a hunting rifle because of how fast it is. You know, you can't be having a really cool, unique sniper that uses, like, unique bullet travel and stuff. You can't have that and just make it do, like, 2 damage. You're just ruining the gun. You want the gun to fail at that point. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't like it, but lo and behold, it is the truth. Now let's talk about where things got good. First of all, the heavy shotgun. The insanely unique heavy shotgun that takes 1 slug and has the best range of any shotgun probably ever, maybe even more than the combat, and is literally based around accuracy, but it rewards accuracy. It rewards that damage, like unlike the striker does, where it'll actually deal like a good amount of damage if you're point blank range. As a matter of fact, I don't think it should lie to you about the bloom, but it will always do damage, a good amount of damage, because it will always do the same amount of damage if you're in a decent range. It'll differ once you step back, but like it's a very, you know, not reliable in the way that it kind of lies to you about where the slug is when you're not aimed in, but very reliable in the fact that you can always count on hitting a certain amount of damage, and that's great. So that shotgun definitely kind of revived the loop a little bit for me. And then you have the machine pistol and stuff. It's cool, but there's a stinger. And the stinger is where the problems and the positives come. So the positive part about the stinger is how good it is. The negative part about the Stinger is how good it is. I think it's so cool that I can take an SMG and not run a rifle and still be able to hit for like what, 17 damage from range? Like, that's pretty cool. The problem is that it's an SMG. The TAC AR is my favorite gun in the whole entire game because I am someone who typically will carry more heals or items than the average person. So obviously I'm going to want my shotgun. Maybe not this season as much, but I'm going to want my shotgun. And then I'm going to want my either rifle, which is normally what I would take, or an SMG. You know, an SMG obviously being the better at close range with the rifle, but the rifle allowing for more versatility. And with the TAC AR, you get both of those things in one. So the Stinger SMG I like because of that. Not that I think it should be as powerful as it is, though. I love that it's powerful because I love using it, but when there's two enemies on your box with a Stinger SMG and you have an Xbox that will drop down to like literally 2 frames a second when that happens, it doesn't have a good result, and that really makes it frustrating to play. And I know a lot of people, especially at the beginning of this season and still now, are still complaining about the Stinger because as much as they have definitely nerfed it, I think the real problem is not necessarily the damage it does. I shouldn't say that. I think it should do like a little bit less damage, but the range. The range is so crazy that I can confidently spray through someone's box from like a mile away. And while I think that's cool to be on the, you know, the gunner end of that, the receiving end, it's not fun at all, and it kind of takes all fun out of the game when you can't you can't edit away, you can't get out of that box because you're constantly able to be sprayed from any range. And that is not only contributed to the Stinger, which, you know, cool, but also overpowered, so I don't know whether I really like it or hate it more. But the MK, right? The rifle category. The Ranger lies to you. It's like the heavy, except the heavy, instead of being one shot, it has like a consistent bloom and stuff. The Ranger just kind of says, yeah, this gun has no bloom. We've made this gun really good. And then you shoot it and you hit all your shots on it. I actually have a video. I actually have a YouTube short about this. You will hit all your shots on it, but it will somehow, in that tiny area that's not on their body, it will manage to always have the bullet go that way. And I don't know if it's just me, but the Ranger sucks. It looks like it's a really good, solid weapon on the outside. You know, the bloom and everything looks so good. And then you start to actually use it on an enemy and you can't hit a shot, especially when they have an MK. The MK is a gun that is just, it's so cool. It's a freaking red dot, okay? My reaction to that was just probably honestly more excited than when I like saw like the outline of the map.
Oh, where you at? Oh, the map looks so crazy. What? Oh, yes, sir. What? It's a red dot. Yo.
Just because I was expecting a new map. I wasn't expecting a red dot. You know, if they had a holographic, I mean, I would absolutely slay. So, Epic Games, you're not watching, but if you were, you should add that into the game. But like, a red dot gun that does kind of low damage, but has a pretty gosh dang high fire rate. Like, I think it's honestly, no, it's not the highest fire rate because the combat, no, it's definitely not the highest fire rate rifle in the whole game. But, well, I don't know, it might be, I don't know. It's got a high fire rate and that's what matters. And a red dot on it. So it's a really good, really solid gun. I personally am not good with it because my recoil control in any game besides maybe like Rainbow Six Siege has always been pretty bad. I mean, my aim is typically way better going in a circle. Like sometimes if I shoot my shotgun, I'll do like a 360 with my aim. And that's kind of where I shine. But when it comes to controlling up and down instead of controlling all ways at once, it's not very good. Especially when my gun is kicking like a mofo. Not the thing for me. I'm not a good bloom controller at all. So I'm not extraordinary with the gun, but it's kind of hard to be bad with the gun. It's an amazing gun. It's an amazing gun. Great weapon. Absolutely love it. Think it's one of the most unique weapons in the game. Epic Games did a great job on this one. So yeah, that kind of sums up the loot pool. There's also heals. I think the heal game is really cool. They kept in chuggies. Amazing. They added med mist and pizza and stuff. 2 amazing heal items. Really, man, the heal game this season is really solid. And I think, honestly, with the shotguns, it's like mid, you know. Man, it's not good, not bad. SMGs, it's overpowered. Rifles, The Ranger is not very good, but the MK makes up for it. It's really cool and really unique. Snipers is absolutely awful, shouldn't even be a thing to have a sniper that bad. Yeah, that's kind of the loophole right now. Really good meds. It's weird. I would say it's definitely more good than it is bad, saying that you could have a loot pool of 6 guns and it didn't, for me personally, get old until like a month later. But besides the heavy and the MK, the only other really unique weapon in the loot pool right now is the grenade launcher, which is really cool, really great gun to have in the game, especially with its new kind of not overpowered, but very strong version. Yeah, really cool gun. The loot pool is questionable, but it's definitely better than it is bad. Alrighty, so this next section is going to be dedicated to all of the new features, and the features being new mechanics and stuff like that. So there's a few new ones, so it's just going to kind of be getting on like the other things added this season. So for starters, we got sliding. Sliding's really cool. It's not as big as fishing and swimming and stuff, but sliding is actually really sick. You know, slide canceling stuff, I never thought I would be slide canceling in Fortnite, but I am. I do slide cancel now, and it's actually really cool, and it's really fun. I don't understand like why I ever thought it would be a bad idea to have sliding. It makes the game way more fun, feel way more fast-paced, even if you're not really moving faster, and just adds variety so you're not just walking around everywhere boringly. Sliding's really cool. Yeah, I love sliding, especially when you get going down a hill and you're like dodging bullets like the freaking Matrix. It's absolutely flying down a hill. It's really fun. Yeah, sliding's great. I love sliding. I think sliding is a great mechanic that they added. Next up, we have accolades. Now, I didn't really understand what this even was until like a month ago. Basically, it's creative XP. It's just a way to get XP in other game modes, and there's a reason why this season, even more than last season, right? Last season I was the highest level ever. I think I was like level 287 at the end of the season. If you look in the gameplay, I think I'm like 288. I'm the highest level I've ever been, and the challenges this season kind of suck. That's because of creative XP. One game of BHE will typically get you about a level, so if I played 100 games of BHE this season alone, that's 100 levels. So the leveling up system it feels weak, but once you kind of get to the higher levels, you start to realize like, dang, I really do level up fast, and I really like that this season. I really think the accolades are good. I don't like how people found glitches, and it kind of demeans the hard work that it takes to actually grind and stuff. I guess not very hard work. The time and effort that it takes to grind your battle pass kind of takes that value down, but still is really cool. Yeah, very good feature. I love that you can get XP from creative now. And then we're going to talk about two other things that are more in-game, not necessarily items for both of them, but in-game features and stuff. Wow, I'm watching this gameplay, dude. I sucked this game. Oh my gosh. But yeah, in-game features. So first we're going to talk about the falling trees. I think they make for some really cool battles. You'll actually see it in this gameplay. Right now, you'll actually see some really cool like tree battles going on, where you got people all posted up and then the other team is trying to knock the trees down on them. So then you got all the builds breaking down around you and the environment's collapsing and crushing and falling all over the place. And it's just so cool to me to have that kind of destruction aspect to the map. I wish there were certain things, like certain types of like walls or something that you could put on buildings that when you shot will break down and destroy parts of the building, and it would just make for really diverse, like movie-esque like scenes and fights and stuff. And that's cool to me. That's really cool to me. I definitely think that they should add more features like that. Now the last one we're going to talk about here is not as much a feature as it is literally just the Spider-Man mythics, which are an item. But come on, it's basically a new feature. I mean, better than most Spider-Man like whipping in any other game would have to be Fortnite. Maybe not the best, but it's really good. Like surprisingly good to have Fortnite, the Battle Royale game, have like really good Spider-Man like mechanics. Just the way that you can move around the map so fast and have so much mobility is really truly an amazing thing to me. So yeah, there's that. Spider-Man mythics are really good. Basically make the game feel so much more fun, and I'm so sad that we're going to be losing them soon. Yeah, it really is a shame that we're not going to be able to play with the Spider-Man mythics anymore, and I really hope that they find something to kind of fill that void of having no true amazing mobility. Oh yeah, there's also tents. I forgot about tents. I think that they should just remove the ability to put mythics in tents and they'd be way better, because I really hope that next season has a lot more mythics and stuff. Yeah, I mean, tents are cool. Allow you to store items to the next game. Meh, they're pretty cool. They're not anything special, but they're really cool. Alrighty, now for our last section here, I'm going to kind of go over just kind of the rest of the things about the season that I didn't really mention. Not necessarily, they're not necessarily all features, but they're just things and aspects about the season, maybe things that were added and stuff, and I want to review them all. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into that. Alrighty, so first up, we all know him. If you don't love him, you're a psychopath. It's Klombo. Who can dislike Klombo? Okay, it's this big, scary dinosaur made cute and cuddly and friendly. He's good in two aspects. One, in the way that he kind of helps you by giving you items, and you can launch from him, and really he's just a useful addition to the game. But at the same time, sometimes there's in-game fights where sometimes you just gotta shoot poor Klombo to get the job done. And yeah, he goes on an absolute rampage, and it's not so much that his little like grenade things do more than I think they do like 10 damage, so they're not really that useful. But guess what? He can knock down builds. He can knock down anything in his way. So if you get him mad, yeah, you're right, you piss Klombo off, he's going to run around, he's going to absolutely destroy everything in his path. And if it's an endgame with like 10 people, you might be getting some kills from that. So yeah, very useful addition to the game. Also very fun, very Fortnite-like addition to have a big, cute dinosaur. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is not so much a specific feature, but just kind of how they rolled them out. One of my favorite things about this season, maybe the thing about the season that makes it feel most Fortnite-like, is the updates. Every single week. Sometimes twice a week. I mean, even like a few days after the launch of the season, we're getting updates that are bringing POIs and new weapons, or rethinking old weapons and bringing them out. And really, it just spiced up the season so much, it gave you a reason to wake up and play the game, instead of just thinking, oh, it's going to be same old Fortnite. And they weren't useless, dumb updates either. There were some, like the ones that only added like gyro aiming and whatever, which isn't even on Xbox. But like, other than that, most of the updates were actually really cool. And they brought out new weapons. I mean, we got the freaking machine pistol, which had been like accidentally released in the game like 17 times. There was the new heavy shotgun, like I mentioned before, which is like my favorite shotgun of the season. And then we got like the grenade launcher remake, which is way better than I think it ever was. There's just so many different things that they added throughout the season that made it so that, yes, they did add a whole bunch of stuff at the beginning, but they didn't limit it to that. It wasn't like every other season where, oh, we'll bring out all the changes at the beginning, and if you don't like them, you're going to have to deal with it because there's only going to be like 2 updates throughout the season. No, they brought back that Chapter 1 Fortnite feeling, and I'm really hoping that they really continue on that path, and they start to do what they did in Chapter 1, which is like every other week, just kind of like unvault and vault guns, like randomly, and bring out new guns all the time. That would be sick. So yeah, that's kind of my opinion on that, like how they brought out the updates, and just how they use the updates listening to the community. Like when they were going to take away all the snow, and everybody said, no, I don't want all the snow gone. What do? They kept some of the snow, and it just really, really makes the game feel like, yes, this is Epic Game listening to us once again. They nerfed a lot of guns, buffed a lot of guns, maybe not to the states that they need to be in, but still, they did it. They finally brought back the consistent updates, but not like last season that kind of sucked. Like, these updates actually do something, and I think that is so amazing. So yeah, that's one of my biggest praises of this entire season, is how they updated the game so much and made it feel fresh and new all the time, and that truly is what you need to do to bring this game back. Alrighty, now the next thing is the storms. I was actually very skeptical when I saw the storms, and I was like, dang dude, this kind of feels like it's gonna ruin the game, just randomly having a natural disaster happen. That might just really interfere with some fights, but no, honestly, I feel like they've made them kind of rare now. Besides like tornadoes and stuff, the tornadoes are like decently rare, but I feel like the normal like thunderstorms and stuff I never see anymore. But it created such a like movie-esque environment that made it seem like you were like in an action movie while you were fighting, and there's a tornado ripping through your location. You're having a build battle, and all of a sudden there's trees getting struck by lightning around you. Everything's on fire and burning down, and there's gray in the sky, and everything is just going up in flames. It's so cool. It's so cool. And just the fact that I thought that was going to ruin the game, it kind of makes me mad because I 100% doubted and underestimated Epic Games when I thought, dang, this is just going to be another RNG thing that's just going to completely make the game unplayable by your choice. This is just going to be, oh, random storm happens and you happen to get caught on fire. Too bad, so sad, you lose the game. But no, it's actually really cool and really fun. And honestly, one of probably a lot of people's, I would say, I don't know about me, I don't think it's one of my favorite things of the season. I mean, I love it, but it's definitely not one of like my favorite things of the season because there's just so much good. But in my opinion, I feel like a lot of people are going to like this season because of the features like that, because of the things that have never been done before in Fortnite, and they took the risk to literally add things like tornadoes and thunderstorms. You can't go wrong with it. So yeah, that's kind of my opinion on that. I mean, really cool, really cinematic. I remember my first game of Tilted, I dropped Tilted and I died, and then a tornado just absolutely ripped through their building, and it was so cool to just watch it tear through the POI and just break everything down. Really, man, it's just something that I never saw coming to the game, and they did it, and I think that's really cool. Man, I think that might be it. I know I say that lightly because this video is like 40 minutes long, but dang, this is a good season. Just the hype for like a full month just waiting and theorizing, and then you wake up and you get this amazing season. I mean, it truly did not let down. My expectations were absolutely met, and as a matter of fact, my expectations were put in the dust compared to this map. Like, dang, dude. Sorry, I shouldn't say just the map. It's the whole game, the whole season. Every single aspect, besides a couple of little details and things, is so good. And I feel like next season is going to be even better if they continue. Because I don't know what they could do for next season to really make the game even better. But I know that it's going to be better because I actually have faith in this game once again. I've reviewed pretty much everything in the season, and I still just feel like I'm missing something because there's just so much. Yeah, this season, man, I'm going to go ahead and rate everything. So the Battle Pass, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10. It's good, but I feel like Spider-Man definitely should have been tier 100, and the Gumbo skin sucks. And there's just a couple details that make it so it's not really far up there, but 7, we'll give it a 7.5. We'll give it a 7.5. The Battle Pass is going to be 7.5. The map this season is going to be a 9 out of 10. Obviously, it could use more, but at the same time, it doesn't need anything more. It's really, really good where it is, really fun. It's not perfect, obviously. It's not the Chapter 1 map, but it's got pretty gosh dang close. It's pretty dang close to being that. And I like that. I think that's amazing. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and give the map, let's say 8 point... Nah. We're going to go ahead and give it a 9 out of 10. In this season overall, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. That's the highest I've rated a season in a long, long time. This season, man, this season is probably going to be one of my favorites, probably top 5 season for me, and I'm sure for a lot of people. Epic Games finally delivering, finally giving us something hype. Just like the flip Fortnite thing and everything, just me not knowing what's going on and just imagining the rest of the community seeing all of the stuff changing and just laying in bed that night and just thinking like, dang, dude, there's so much stuff happening. And I remember, dude, getting home from church the next day and rushing down to play the new season, man. It's a hype that I have not experienced maybe since Chapter 2 Season 3, but it might have been higher. I'm going to say that the hype from this season is the highest amount of hype I have felt for any game ever. Any game, anything in a video game ever that has happened, I've never been as hype about it as I am about this season. So, yeah, and the season, it just hasn't gotten boring. There's not been one time when I said, dang, I don't really want to play Fortnite, it's boring, or I'm burnt out. Okay, I played the season on launch day for like 6 hours straight, woke up the next day, still wanted to play the game, still wasn't bored. That is what Fortnite should do. Keep you coming back. If a game wants to succeed, they should keep it fresh and make you always want to keep playing the game. And they did that. They did a really good job on that. So yeah, Battle Pass 7.5, map is a 9, season overall I'm going to be rating a 9 out of 10. Very, very good, amazing season. Alright, now here is where things get interesting. We are going to be theorizing and just kind of making some guesses on the new season. I like to do this at the end of all these videos, and it's honestly one of my favorite parts. So, just like a lot of seasons, for some reason, I guess it's on my mind, so then I'll have like a dream about it and stuff. And I had one with last season, and I had one with this season too. And let me kind of explain this. It doesn't really mean anything, it's just a dream, but I just kind of want to explain where that mentality came from. So, basically, I have been wishing for Camp Cuddle, right? The side that has the grotto on it, or like the Covert Canyon, whatever. I want that side. I want Camp Cuddle, the grotto, and either Logjam or add like a new location. I want those to become like the IO, that to become like the IO side, and the side with the 7 on it. I want the Sanctuary, and then they have to destroy the Daily Bugle, so make that base, and then add like another location. Boom, you have 3 locations for each side on opposite sides of the map. And yeah, I've been wanting that. So I had a dream where instead of that happening, the desert area extended all the way to Camp Cuddle, and then there was a bunch of meteors that had crashed into the map and it left craters and holes. I think that was kind of stemmed from there being holes in the map because of the IO drilling. Yeah, just kind of a fun thing I wanted to mention. Doesn't actually mean anything. But I kind of wanted to use that as a basis to kind of set up my theories and kind of like my wish list for the season. You heard me talking about how I want that one side of the map with the grotto on it, you know, POIs around there to become like IO bases and stuff, and then on the other side, all those POIs to belong to the 7. I think that'll be really cool. But I think we need to see more like what they did in Chapter 2 Season 2. Not a season that I personally liked that much, but it was my first season pretty much. Yeah, but basically, technically my first season. We'll call it that way. That was technically my first season. And there was one thing that I do remember enjoying, though, and that was always being able to land at a location and fight to get the mythics, right? Not having bosses that have 1,000,000 health and special abilities that can just absolutely destroy you, and it's not even worth getting their guns because they're just upgraded versions of the normal guns. In Gunner's case, not even good. But to be able to land, have Midas deal like a lot of damage to him, but not as much as nowadays, and then not have him like throw a rock at you or something, just kind of have Midas stand there and shoot at you. You know, you try to survive and you kill him and stuff, and you get his gun, you get the key card, you and your teammates hop out, you guys dip to the freaking vault, and then there's fights there, and there's just so much action with that season. And I think that we need to see that again. I think that in a season, once again, based around kind of a war and a battle, we need to see so many more mythics and stuff. I think it would be cool if there was like an IO patrol also around the map that like every game, similar to the Stark like jets, there was like an IO outposts that could like spawn in certain places, and they would all, and maybe they would each have like a boss that had like a mythic of like an upgraded version of a gun, kind of similar to now. But I think we need to see all these new mythics and stuff that are guns that aren't in the game, right? Like Midas had a drum gun. Drum gun wasn't in the game. Tina had a boom bow. That was freaking sick because there wasn't a boom bow in the game. And that kind of stuff just makes it so much more interesting than just, oh, here's an MK but better. Oh, here's a Stinger but arguably worse but better. Yeah, I think we need to see that. I think we need to see the mythics and bosses, especially with some of the guns that have been kind of leaked to be coming out and stuff that are kind of military based, like the thermal scoped AR is just absolutely, I've always been good with it. I've always been really good with it, but it's just an absolute beast now. I think we need to see that. And then some other military-based guns, like one of my other favorite guns, actually not my favorite gun in the whole game, the TAC AR. That's like one of the IO's guns, so I think they should add that back. And just stuff like that that would make really, really good guns to have in the loot pool. I mean, the loot pool itself, they just need to unvault a crap ton of weapons, bring back the pumps and the TACs and the scars and all that sort of stuff. And I think that we're going to have an absolutely amazing loot pool. Probably take away some of the new shotguns and snipers and maybe the Ranger and stuff. Definitely take out the Stinger, but yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that they could do next season to make it really interesting, especially with the map. But I just, this season's so good already, I don't really know how they're going to make it better. So it just makes me even more excited to see what they're going to do. I think in terms of Battle Pass, we need to just get a bunch of IO and 7 related warriors and stuff. I think it would be really cool if like the tier 1 skin was either like an IO or it would probably make more sense to have like a 7 guard, but it wasn't like the stupid defaults with the helmets that they have right now. It should just be like a fully customizable skin, similar to like Maya or Chimera, where you can customize your armor and make your own individual IO agent. That would be really cool, and then have like different helmets from different skins and stuff you could put on them with like an IO look to them. How cool would that be? So yeah, I think that would be just an absolutely amazing thing for them to do. Yeah, I mean, next season is, I mean, it has to be good. There's no way that they can make this season and just not make it good. So I'm thinking that they really need to go all out, especially with the loot pool and the mythics. You know, I feel like getting like, oh, Tac AR's back, all right, make a mythic Tac AR, like that's not cool. I think we need to get guns that aren't in the game. Like maybe if there's like there's a boss, he's like a really like chunky, big, heavy dude like Brutus, we could have another mythic minigun maybe, or something along those lines. Just guns that would make sense for a military themed season, and giving them to the bosses and stuff. Right, the 7, you could have like a melee weapon or something cool. I don't even know. There's just so much that you could do with this season in terms of mythics and bosses and stuff that I think would just make the season an absolute blast to play. And I really hope that my theories on this and my wish list is right, because it will be an absolute banger of a season to get. There's also that stuff with like the Caddis monster and stuff resurrecting. I don't know how much that's going to do, but that would also be pretty cool to have that showdown again as a live event, because that was actually my favorite event of all time. You know, to have like 7 robot fight like a robotic version of the Caddis monster would be cool, but I think they just need to not like basically copy it, is all. Cool battle pass, a bunch of unvaulted weapons, bunch of new weapons for the IO and for the 7, especially the 7 weapons that we saw the Rock have in the event that we never got for some reason. I think overall, you know, you make a bunch of POIs for each of them on opposite sides of the map, we could be having an absolutely fire season with some amazing features. Definitely, also they need to make like a new version of the Spider-Man mythic or something, but I don't really know what else I could ask for in this season besides that, unless they could do something really cool, like have the IO drills or something, make like a crater POI. Similar to how the IO made a new version of the Grotto, they can make a new version of Dusty Divot, which was one of my favorite POIs of all time. I think that would be so cool to just have all these different features and stuff that at the beginning of the season we could have never imagined having, but now that I'm thinking about it, we could be having some pretty fire stuff this season. So yeah, hopefully next season is great. Hopefully these things that I'm talking about come to fruition. We can get an absolute fire season that nobody is going to put down. Yeah, that's my video. This is the longest one of these review videos I've ever made by a long shot, but this is a great season, and I have a lot of theories and a lot of things to ask for the next season, and I really hope that it's as good as we are thinking. Thank you guys so much for watching and taking all the time out of your day to watch some random kid talk about Fortnite. It really does mean a lot to me. Yeah, I mean, if you liked this video, I drop these every single season. I'll be making some videos soon, like rating my favorite POIs and seasons and stuff. I make lots of Fortnite clips, lots of other content than this. You know, I make like Lego videos, Nerf gun videos I used to do Minecraft videos, I have guitar videos and stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff on my channel, and if you want to see that, go ahead and drop a sub down below. Yeah, thank you guys so much for sticking with me through this, and I really hope that you can find my my opinion worthwhile. Comment down below the things that you want to see from this season, the things that you agree or maybe disagree with me about, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in season 2.